Chapter 7, Section 1 of the 4 sections we're doing for Chapter 7, it all involves exponents. So when you raise to a power, we're just going to deal with today's multiplication properties of exponents, and we're going to start with the product of powers. Well, product means to multiply. Of is their powers. So we're going to multiply two variables with the same variable, and they're raised to a power of 3 and a power of 4. It says to multiply powers with the same base, meaning this a, add the exponents. What they're saying is if I have the same base, I can rewrite the base and simply add the exponents. So that would be a to the 7th. If that doesn't make sense, we can expand the a cubed to a times a times a. Then we're multiplying again a to the 4th, which is 4 a's. We see here that that is 7 a's. Okay, so this would be your final answer. So example 1 asks you to simplify each expression. I ask you to pause the video, give it your best shot, and then see what I do. Okay, so do you have to write these steps? Not at all, but I just wanted to show you how I received my answers. For part B, 3 to the 8th, you could leave it like that, or you could actually put in your calculator 3 to the 8th, and then simplify that answer more. Okay, if you have concerns or questions, always ask. If you have any questions with this part, you may see one of your teachers and ask for assistance. Some classes might not have 2 teachers, and that's fine. You can just ask me. The next part is power of a power. Of means multiplication. So power of a power means we're going to multiply the 2 powers together. It says to raise a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. Power of a power. So we don't have 2 different ones this time. We're taking this and raising it. We're squaring it. So what this is they're telling you to multiply the exponents. So your answer is z to the 6th. What that means is, yeah, you're squaring it. You're taking z cubed and you're multiplying it by itself. You're squaring it. When you square something, you multiply it by itself. And we know that we could just add those. So we could also have gotten it this way. Same thing. I want you to pause the video. I want you to give A through D your best shot, and then I want you to press play when you're done. All right. So like I said, you don't have to show all your steps, but say you're taking a test and you give me this answer and it's completely wrong. If you don't show those steps, I can't give you partial credit. Okay. like I said before with part B in the previous one, you can leave it like this or simplify it in your calculator. It's up to you. Here, we multiply, we clean up, we clean up. They have the same base, so we can still put them together by adding, which was the previous power property. Okay. Now, power of a product. It's no different than power of a power. Power raised to a power. You're still power raising to a power, but there's a product inside, not just one thing. So I always write baby exponents here. A to the first, B to the first. Okay. To raise a product to a power, raise each factor to the power and then multiply. So A first to the fourth, B first to the fourth. So we have 1 times 4, 1 times 4. So your answer is A to the fourth, B to the fourth. You don't have to put a multiplication sign between them because when variables or numbers are beside each other, it implies multiplication anyway. So once again, I ask you to pause the video, try them on your own, and watch. All right, going through, this was just like that example. Here, you don't have to show all these steps. I'm showing you what exactly I did to get to the final answer. I draw little ones when I don't have an exponent just to keep myself in check. -2 is raised to the third. I just want to put parentheses around it to get in the habit of when you're putting it into your calculator. -2 times -2, 4 times -2, -8. If this exponent was even, like -2 squared, this is the problem I see with students. They'll put -2 squared in the calculator versus -2 squared. Your calculator will think that there's a difference. Your calculator will square this 2 and then put the negative on versus -2 times -2. So always make sure you use parentheses. And lastly, we did the same thing like we normally do, but we see we have 2 s's now, and they're simply being multiplied, so I can just add my exponents. All right, the next side. It says to simplify a monomial expression. Monomial, mon means one, so one term, one number. Write an equivalent expression in which each variable base appears exactly once. There are no power of powers, and all fractions are in simplest form. They just want you to simplify. So here I have 2 to the first. So it's 2 to the first to the fourth. So it's 2 to the fourth. A to the third to the fourth. You multiply, you get the 12th. Times A to the third, which is the 9th. Well, 2 to the fourth is 2 times 2, 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16, or you could have just put in your calculator. A to the 12th, A to the 9th is A to the 21st. This one is P to the 20th, R to the 8th. This one is -7 to the first to the second. So if I square -7, I get 49. P to the 6th, r to the 8th. And now I can rewrite the last one. I had to simplify these powers of powers before I multiply all the way across. Okay, so I have a 1 here, I have a 49, and I have a 6. So what's 49 times 6? I don't have a calculator in front of me. So we're going to do it the old school way. 54, carry the 5. 6 times 4 is 24, 294. P to the 20th, P to the 6th, P to the 1st is P to the 27th. R to the 8th, R to the 8th is R to the 16th, R to the 19th. Okay. Power to power, this is 2 to the 1st to the 3rd, so it's 2 to the 3rd, G to the 3rd, H to the 12th, which is 8G cubed H to the 12th. This, we got to bring, you can multiply these first and get negative 2G to the 4th H to the 6th. So this is negative 2 to the 6th, G to the 24th, H to the 6th. Negative 2 to the 6th is negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4. Negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4. Negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4. 6 of them. 16 times 4, which is 64. So this is 8G cubed H to the 12th times 64 G to the 24th H to the 6th. Now we can multiply across. 64 times 8, you can simply put in your calculator, is 32, carry the 3, 48 plus 5 is 512. So 512 G to the 27th, H to the 18th. This one doesn't have any powers outside of the parentheses, so we can just multiply across since they're all beside each other. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. So now we have negative 24 times 3 eighths. You could simply put in your calculator negative 24 times 3 eighths. Press enter and it'll give you your fraction. I know that 24 divided by 8 is 3. So it's negative 3 times 3, which is negative 9. Now I have, let's start with alphabetical. I have a y, but there's an x here and there's an x here. So I have x squared, x to the 1st, which is x to the 3rd. Then I have y cubed and y squared, y to the 5th, and then 4 more of them, so y to the 9th. So I have 1, 2, 3 x's. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 y's. Example 5 says express the area of each figure as a monomial. So area equals length times width. Here we have 6a squared b to the 4th times the width of 3ab squared. This is going to be 6 times 3 is 18, a to the 3rd, b to the 6th. Area here is 1/2 base times height. 1/2, your base is 4a squared b, your height is 6ab cubed. 1/2 of 4 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. A squared, a to the 1st is a cubed. B to the 1st, b to the 3rd is b to the 4th. Does that make sense? If none of these make sense or you're having trouble, feel free to stop the video and come ask one of your teachers. Okay. Lastly is volume. Volume of a cube or a prism, rectangular, is volume equals length times width times height. So we have 3h squared. This is a square cube. So it's the same thing 3 times. So 3 times 3, 9, times 3 is 27. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 H's. Volume again is length times width times height. I have m cubed n times mn cubed times n. So m cubed, m to the first is m to the fourth, n to the first, n to the fifth. And that's it.